Joining us today to talk more about our Wesley Lifeforce networks is Tony Cassidy. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, Keith.
Now, this is a very sensitive issue, and we recognise that. But at the same time, we've got to talk about it, haven't we?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue we've had over the years is the stigma surrounding suicide. And if we're able to talk about it and share and support those that are grieving, then we're able to address that stigma, and hopefully people will be more willing to seek help.
And people are affected across all kind of genres and types of people in our community, aren't they?
That's right. Suicide doesn't discriminate. We see completed suicides in all different age groups, in all different demographics, older people in wealthy areas, younger people or middle class in remote areas.
Tell me a little bit about the Wesley Lifeforce networks, because that's part of your responsibility.
Yes.
And it's part of a strategy that we have, isn't it?
It is. So whilst we're looking, Wesley Lifeforce started with the delivery of training, and we're now able to support communities through the Networks program to address the issues at a local level. So a community network is able to come together, think about what the issues are or what is happening within that community.
Just a minute, what is a network then? Who are in these networks?
So a network is a group of people who are interested in addressing the issue of suicide specifically in this case. So they may include police, local council, mental health or primary health workers, as well as community people who may have been impacted by suicide.
And how many of these are there?
So at the moment we have 67 networks operating or being supported across the country, and we're looking at a further 6 networks establishing up to March 30 next year, and we have about 10 affiliate networks.
And this includes all areas, and I need to say this includes Aboriginal and Indigenous communities in the north, doesn't it?
It does. So we operate in about 12 different Aboriginal communities across the country now, where we're supporting the Aboriginal people to address the issue themselves, which is important that they're a part of the process. It's not someone telling them how to fix it.
And presumably that's culturally relevant to the people involved, wherever we do this.
That's right. It's whenever we're looking at any community, whether it is an Aboriginal community or a community in eastern suburbs of Sydney, we want to be relevant to that community in how we operate and how we support the community.
Tony, how long have you worked at Wesley Mission and in Wesley Lifeforce?
Been at Wesley Mission for about 6.5 years now, since early 2010, and managing Lifeforce that whole time.
What motivates you?
I think two things are really my drivers. One is working within Wesley Mission as an organisation. I believe my faith is supported in both the workplace as well as my private life, and that is a benefit for me in knowing what I'm doing is making a difference. And it's also, I've personally been impacted by suicide in the past, and being able to address that issue and be supported by Wesley Mission, both the church and the services of Wesley Mission, to be able to do that.
Because it's been through your experience, do you think that makes a big difference to the way you go about it?
Absolutely. I think what we need to remember is the people that have been impacted by suicide, whether bereaved or self-attempters or any other thing, they're the ones that can tell us what people are thinking, what happens, what people go through. So that is very important as we look at ways of addressing the issues to prevent suicide.
Tony, you've helped us to understand that this can happen at any place to anyone. Now, if somebody's listening into our conversation here, and how can they be benefited by Wesley Lifeforce, especially if they're contemplating, thinking about some of those things that might lead to self-harm?
So the important thing is, firstly, if you're having thoughts along those lines, reach out to someone, try and contact someone, whether that's Lifeline or your local GP or anyone around. Certainly when we're talking to people about how to seek help, we have an online service finder that is useful with just lists of local numbers. How do people find that?
How do they get...
If they go to our website, wesleymission.org.au, there's links through to the service finder on the website. And it'll just provide in your local area the local hospitals, local counselling services and other national helplines that are available.
And we're not arrogant enough to believe that everything in this area is all ours, are we? We're connected to others.
It's very important, particularly when we think about the Networks program, that this is taking people from all different areas of the community to address the issue. Wesley Lifeforce is helping to make that happen, but we're not the end. We don't have the whole solution.
If someone's listening to us and has experienced the loss of a loved one to suicide, what would you say to them?
I think the important message is don't give up hope. There are people who want to listen and want to help. There's hope in coming together with other people. They will find people, relationships may change with people, but let that happen and let people listen and let people help support you.
And all our best prayers are with Wesley Lifeforce as we look to the future. Thank you, Tony. It's never easy talking about loss in this way, but I do feel it's an important part of our work and important to communicate if you've been impacted any way by this particular issue.